In this short tutorial we will look at navigation on the CIS website. It explores the main ways to interact with CIS. In this tutorial we will look at how to log on to CIS. We will explain the common navigation that you will use to view, enter or change data on CIS, including how to recognize mandatory fields. As much of the information in CIS is presented in grids, this tutorial also covers how to work with and manage these grids. To log into CIS, you can use any web browser, but it works best with Google Chrome. Visit the CIS website by typing the web address URL shown on the screen into the address bar of your browser. Enter your username, which is not case sensitive, and enter your password, which is case sensitive. Then click on Login. If you cannot remember your password, click the Forgotten Password link on the bottom of the login screen. If you need assistance, please email the address which is shown on the screen. At the top of each screen is the home icon. This will bring you back to your home page from anywhere in the system. At the bottom of each screen are the options to save the information entered or to cancel. Remember, you may need to scroll down the screen until they become visible. Some screens may also offer an Add and New option. This will save the current record and open a new dialog box for you to add details of the next item. For example, where screens where multiple documents can be uploaded will have this option. The Add and New button will also be located at the bottom right of the screen. Color is used to give visual information on how a field behaves in the CIS system. Fields with a white background are the most common. They allow data to be entered, but they may be left blank. Fields with a colored background are mandatory fields. A value must be entered in these fields. Fields with a gray shaded background are read-only. You may not enter any data into these fields. A field may change color, for example, become mandatory or become read-only, depending on the value entered in a different field. Many screens in CIS display lines of information under a header. This is known as a grid. Grids offer many powerful functions to manage the data in the grid, such as searching, sorting and exporting, which are summarized here. The next section will explore each of these in detail. Grids in CIS can be sorted by clicking on the text header of the column you wish to sort. Click the heading once to sort the items in the grid into ascending order. A small arrow icon appears beside the header you selected, to let you know the grid information is sorted by this column. Click the heading again to reverse the sort into descending order. On grid screens there is a blank row between the column headings and the information in the grid. Typing in this blank line allows you to search for lines of data in the grid which match the value entered. Enter the text you are searching for and press enter. CIS then refreshes the grid and displays only lines that match the search criteria. Click the clear button to remove the search text and the grid refreshes to display all the data. The search text does not have to be a full word or phrase, a few characters are often enough. The user can search multiple columns at the same time. In this example, 2019 is typed in the application due date column, and the word expiry is typed into the reason for application column. When the user presses enter, CIS displays only lines in the grid with 2019 in the due date field and with the word expiry in the reason for application field. Grids can contain a very large number of rows of data. The data is displayed one page at a time. The navigation control at the bottom right of a grid is the standard control that allows scrolling forward or backwards, either by one page at a time, or it allows the user to move to the first page or to the last page. It also allows the user to type a page number to go directly to that page. Clicking on an item in a grid gives read-only access by default. so you are not allowed to change the data. To edit the record, click on the arrow located immediately to the right of the View button and then select the Edit option. The Edit option is available only to users who have been granted access to edit that record. On a small number of grids, other options such as remove or deactivate may be available. Where applicable, the option to add records to a grid is located at the top right of the grid. The first example shows how details of wards in the facility can be added by clicking on New Ward Unit. The second example shows how the registered proprietor can add a new comment on an inspection report. On occasion you may wish to save some information outside of CIS. The Export Grid Data button appears at the top of each grid in the same position as the New button. This allows the information on the grid to be exported to either Excel, HTML or as a PDF. Your browser needs to allow pop-ups. If pop-ups are being blocked, you need to configure your browser to allow pop-ups from CIS. When exporting to Excel, a file is downloaded by your browser. If you are using Google Chrome, the file appears in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. Click once to open the file. The file has also been saved to the Downloads folder on your computer. If you use other browsers, follow the instructions that appear on your screen. A small number of screens have grids which are many columns wide. Not all of the columns may be visible all of the time. Use the arrows on the left and the right highlighted on this screen can be used to scroll left or right to see the other columns. This tutorial has given you a general introduction to navigation within CIS. In particular, we have looked at the navigation relating to CIS grids. We will revisit this navigation as we progress through the other tutorials that relate to each of the specific areas within CIS. The Logout button is on the top right of each screen. Click on Logout and select Yes to exit CIS. You are now ready to move to the tutorials specific to each area of CIS such as inspections, tribunals, CAPA, registration, notifications and so on. If you need further assistance with using CIS, check out these other tutorials or email the addresses shown above.